You lock your door at night without thinking. Maybe you hear a dog barking somewhere outside. Maybe you ignore it. Maybe you roll over and go back to sleep. But for most of human history, there was no locked door. No alarm system. No streetlight. No police car passing by. No wall between your sleeping body and whatever moved in the dark. There was only firelight, tired eyes, and the thin circle of people who trusted each other enough to sleep. Then one night, just beyond the edge of the camp, something watched. It was not human. It had yellow eyes, sharp teeth, and ears that could hear what your group could not. A wolf. The obvious answer is simple. Ancient humans should have killed it, chased it away, or feared it as a rival. Wolves ate meat. Humans ate meat. Both hunted some of the same animals. Both moved through the same cold landscapes. So why did one of the most dangerous predators on Earth eventually become the first animal to live beside us? And why does that strange partnership matter so much that some people wonder whether wolves helped save ancient humans from extinction? The honest answer is not that wolves magically chose us one day. And the evidence cannot prove that dogs saved Homo sapiens from extinction in a simple, dramatic way. But the deeper story may be even more interesting. Because at a time when survival depended on attention, cooperation, and reading the world correctly, wolves may have given humans something no stone tool could give. A second set of senses. Long before farming, before cities, before written language, before metal, before horses, cattle, sheep, or goats, there were dogs. Or something very close to dogs. Recent ancient DNA research has pushed the story deeper into the Ice Age. A study published in Nature in 2026 found genetic evidence for dogs in Western Eurasia more than 14,000 years ago, including remains from Pınar-Bası in Turkey dating to about 15,800 years ago. That does not mean every detail is solved. Scientists still debate where dogs first came from, when the first wolf became different enough to call a dog, and whether this happened once or through a messy process across different regions. But one thing is becoming harder to ignore. By the end of the Ice Age, humans were not alone anymore. Something wolf-shaped was traveling near us. So how did it begin? One possibility starts with hunger. A human camp after a hunt was not clean. Bones cracked open for marrow. Scraps of skin, blood in the snow, smells drifting into the dark. For a bold wolf, that camp was dangerous, but also tempting. Most wolves would stay away. A nervous wolf that came too close might be killed. An aggressive wolf that lunged at people would be killed even faster. But a less fearful wolf, one that kept its distance, waited, watched, and stole scraps without attacking, might survive. Not because humans loved it. Not at first. Because it was useful to tolerate. It cleaned waste. It warned of movement. It stayed near enough to benefit, but far enough not to be a threat. Over many generations, the wolves most able to live near humans had an advantage. Less fear. Less aggression. More attention to human behavior. This is not a fairy tale about friendship beginning in one beautiful moment. It may have begun with suspicion. A wolf waits outside the firelight. A child points. A hunter grips a spear. The group decides whether this animal is a danger, a nuisance, or something strangely useful. That decision could not be made once. It had to be made again and again. Every night. Every hunt. Every winter. And winter may have been one of the keys. During harsh Ice Age seasons, large animals could become lean. Humans needed fat and carbohydrates, not endless piles of protein. The human body cannot live safely on unlimited lean meat. Wolves could handle lean meat much better. One hypothesis, proposed by Maria Lahtinen and colleagues, suggests that in cold environments humans may sometimes have had meat that was less valuable to them but still valuable to wolves or early dogs. That matters. Because if humans and wolves were always fighting for exactly the same food, partnership would be almost impossible. But if there were moments when feeding a wolf-like animal did not take away the food humans needed most, tolerance became easier. A dangerous rival could slowly become a camp follower. A camp follower could become a warning system. A warning system could become a hunting partner. And a hunting partner could become family. Still, the real twist is this. Humans did not simply tame wolves because humans were powerful. In some ways, wolves were better than us. They could smell trails we could not smell. They could hear movement beyond the fire. They could run through darkness with confidence. They could notice animals before human eyes found them. A stone spear extends the hand. A dog extends the senses. Imagine walking across a frozen plain with only human hearing. The wind moves over dry grass. Snow covers old tracks. The herd has passed, but you cannot tell how recently. Now imagine a wolf dog beside you. Its head lowers. Its body stiffens. Its ears turn before you know why. The animal has not spoken. But its body has become information. For a hunter-gatherer group, that kind of information could change everything. It could help find game. It could warn of predators. It could reveal strangers near camp. It could make night less blind. This does not mean dogs made humans invincible. They did not. Ancient people still faced cold, hunger, injury, disease, conflict, and uncertainty. But survival is often not decided by one heroic moment. It is decided by small advantages repeated thousands of times. One earlier warning. One better trail. One successful hunt. One predator noticed before it entered camp. One child protected because something barked before humans woke. That is where the title becomes meaningful. Wolves may not have saved humans from extinction like warriors in a final battle. But by becoming dogs, they may have helped humans survive the hardest margins of life. They helped us notice more. And in the Ice Age, noticing more could mean living longer. Then there is the strangest evidence of all. Not a perfect hunting tool. A sick puppy. At Bonn Oberkassel in Germany, archaeologists found the remains of a young dog buried with two humans roughly 14.200 years ago. Later study suggested that this animal had suffered severe illness, possibly canine distemper, and may have survived for weeks only because humans cared for it. Think about what that means. A sick young dog could not chase prey. It could not guard the camp well. It could not pull its weight as a tool. If the interpretation is correct, someone gave it food. Someone gave it water. Someone tolerated its weakness. In a hard Ice Age world, that is not a small thing. This is where the story changes. Maybe dogs were not kept only because they were useful. Maybe usefulness opened the door. But emotion kept them inside. Humans saw something in these animals that was not exactly human, but close enough to matter. A face that looked back. A body that followed. A creature that feared, trusted, waited, and learned. And the wolves that could understand humans also changed. They became better at living with us. Not by becoming human. By becoming the animal that could cross the gap between wildness and the campfire. This partnership changed both sides. Humans gained a living alarm, a tracker, a hunting companion, and eventually a friend. Wolves gained food, warmth, protection, and a new social world. But the deepest reversal is not that humans domesticated wolves. It is that wolves may have domesticated part of us too. They made humans practice a new kind of attention. Not just attention to prey. Not just attention to enemies. But attention to another species' signals. A tail. A posture. A growl. A stare. A hesitation before danger. To live with dogs, humans had to become better readers of non-human minds. And dogs had to become better readers of us. That is why this story still feels personal. Today, your dog may not help you hunt reindeer across frozen ground. It may not protect a cave from hyenas. It may not track a wounded animal through snow. But when it lifts its head before you hear a sound, something ancient is still happening. When it watches your face to know whether you are calm or angry, something old remains. When it sleeps near you, not as a tool, but as a trusted body in the room, the Ice Age has not completely disappeared. Modern life has replaced many of the things dogs once did for us. Locks guard the door. Phones connect the group. GPS reads the trail. Electric lights push back the dark. But dogs remain beside us because the oldest part of the relationship was never only practical. It was shared attention. Two species looking into the same darkness. One with fire. One with sharper ears. Neither complete alone. So why did wolves choose ancient humans? Maybe the better question is why some wolves could afford to trust us. And why some humans were wise enough not to destroy that trust. The answer was not one moment. It was food, fear, caution, usefulness, patience, and eventually care. And did they save us from extinction? Not in the simple way a legend would say. But they may have helped save countless human lives at the edge of survival. They made the night less silent. They made the trail less invisible. They made the camp less alone. And sometimes, in prehistory, that may have been enough. Tonight, when a dog barks outside a locked door, it may sound like noise. But thousands of years ago, that sound was not noise. It was information. It was warning. It was partnership. It was the wild choosing the fire. And the fire choosing it back.